Hi, hello my Eurovision friends and welcome to a new video. How are you dealing with post-Eurovision depression? Yeah, I know. It's always so intense, right? So I decided to do this video and go through all the performances and place them in this tier from a performance perspective, which means visuals, graphics, colors, lights, camera work, all this kind of stuff. As you know, I'm a visual artist, so I won't be talking about music or vocals because I don't know anything about that. And before we get into it, let me tell you what I'm looking for in a performance to consider it good or bad. And it's consistency. That's the key. It has to make sense with the music genre and with the song message. Well, visuals are supposed to help to convey the message and the emotion, so it's not just putting random elements together. There has to be a reason why things are done this way and not the another, right? You know what I mean? And then I personally love the performances that take care of all the details and that have hidden symbolisms or different interpretations that many times are you who help me understand them, and I love that. So with all this said, let's get straight into ranking them. I'll go in alphabetical order, so we start with Albania. And I think everything was on point here. It was weird but really captivating, and I loved the geometric patterns they used, very unique and with personality, you know? Oh, Armenia was so powerful, right? It's the result of a very good use of lights, makeup and a treadmill. He certainly trained and delivered. Oh, Australia was hilarious and deserved to be in the final. I'm still angry about this. I mean, this idea of a TV show with a huge mixer in the middle of stage that changes your life when you go inside, when you try this milkshake. It's a really cool idea to convey the message of the song. Then we had some visuals with milk and fruits and all these 70s disco aesthetics. Everything was very joyful and funny and very well thought out. For me, this deserved way more. Oh, then Austria, a very deserved winner. I wasn't sure when the clip from the rehearsals came out. I wasn't sure about all this black and white all the time, but the performance was not boring at all. It worked so well. The drama and the emotion were increasing until that final storm, and this use of black and white gave it a cinematic feel. Also, it's a negative feeling after all. It's very sad and depressive. I mean, the song message. And there were also many cute details in this performance, as the tiny paper boat, the real boat drifting and made of suitcases, so he was carrying all his memories and experiences. And that final image from the ceiling in the middle of a storm, JJ's moves, everything had a meaning and was really well executed with the camera work as well. Just perfect. So Azerbaijan, I think it looked cool at the beginning, but as there was not much progression, at the end it felt like a bit bland and uneventful. It was a pity. Oh, Belgium, he was a sure qualifier for me. He had everything: a strong song, strong vocals, strong performance. Very solid. Perfect. And he didn't make it. So yeah, that made me mad and sad, and I don't really see anything that needs to be improved here. So, a masterpiece. Even had some surreal elements like this Alice in Wonderland eyes they played with perception with the dancers looking like himself looking at his reflection, the catwalk, the choreo. It was so polished. Next is Croatia, the biggest improvement from the national final. This performance was much more consistent, using the green and purple atmosphere, colors associated with poison, a cauldron, a snake, camera shaking effects, everything much darker. It didn't give this feel of I'm the evil character of a cartoon series, you know. Still, I think it needed something more to keep you interested towards the end, so that's why I'll leave it in pretty good. Oh, Cyprus. The choreo with this scaffolding was very cool and original, and very hard to sing like that for sure. But it felt a bit like it started stronger than it ended. Maybe I would have done it like the opposite. He could have started on the floor at the beginning, building the mystery, instead of showing us Leonardo da Vinci and all the good tricks from the start. So let's leave it as pretty good as well, because the beginning and the idea was so memorable. Czechia. I'm so sorry to say this because I really like the song and his deep voice, but for me they got the staging wrong. They presented us an amazing music video with the time traveler. They had a good concept in there, like to say goodbye and start again, but I didn't see any kind of concept on stage. Or maybe I didn't get it. But everything was very white. It had a lot of dancing, but I found it very random, to be honest. Denmark. Pretty good. We had a lot of lasers in there that tried to recreate these hallucinations with waves in the lasers, the curtains, the shadows. Not fully achieving it in my opinion, but they tried. And they had a great trick with the dancers facing gravity towards the end with the boots fixed on the floor. That was the coolest. And well, I told you about the pink and blue staging curse, and I'm not sure if she broke it or not, because she qualified, but then she ended in last places, so... Okay, Estonia, this was so funny. All the coffee references, the dance, how he does this with the legs, the plain dancing as well, all the comedy with the bodyguards and the intruder. It was made for fun, and it was fun. It was bright, it was dynamic, and what surprised me the most is that even juries liked it. Finland, you know what I think of this one if you have been following me. I mean, how would you stage an orgasm? And I think they did it with style, with these big rock star vibes, her strong stage presence, playing with the microphone, feeling the female empowerment 100%. Love when she walks the corridor singing directly to the camera. And that ending is just so crazy and powerful and abrupt, so over the top. What I think maybe happened here is that for us it had not the surprise effect or the hype it had when we saw it for the first time at UMK. And then all this censorship with the outfit and the moves. I prefer the UMK performance, to be honest. But she deserved more. Then France, great concept with the sand, this metaphor with time. We had the sand clock and all this cork falling. I love that image when she puts her hand like trying to stop time. It's the intimate staging this kind of song needed, with that moment looking at the mirror, introspection, and the voice of his daughter at the end. So it had some very nice elements and a solid concept. I just missed maybe a bit more of dynamism. Let's continue with Georgia. It was great to have the dancers with these traditional outfits fighting for freedom and peace. I found it less aggressive than the official presentation. I did not understand the second outfit because it felt like more circus related, and I don't think that was the purpose. and all that circles in the background could have easily been replaced by nature images, but it was quite pleasant to look at. Next is Germany, better than I expected. It was great with this huge radio cassette prop. It's a song to unburden after a breakup. She only wants to dance and shoot for the stars, so she just turns on the volume, right? And the transition when she descends to the floor, like dancing behind the scenes, it was so cool as well. A high energy and dynamic performance. And it's interesting because they used blue when blue is the color for calm, right? Oh, and they did not break the cello this time. Greece. It was very beautiful, but I have to admit I think the concept from the national flag conveyed better the message of the song and felt more Greek to me. I missed the dancers. She was like in a bridge, leaving home, and we had a lot of fire, lava, representing how hard it is to leave home. I'm not sure. Then we had some birds, a whirlwind. I mean, it was beautiful and entertaining to look at, and it felt powerful as well. But I have the feeling I missed interpretations here. Maybe they used nature to convey different emotions. And that final in white that I see as hope was stunning. Okay, Iceland. The energy of the duo and the dancers, it is what stands out more here. I think they could have done more with the visuals, but at least they added a boat and more sailor motifs, so I approve. Ireland was pretty good as well. I mean, it had the kind of visuals it had to have with the topic of the song. I loved her outfit, the spaceship. It just felt the same all the time. Maybe it could have been better if she had moved a bit more around stage, right? Israel. This performance was very elegant and distinguished, but at the same time a bit cold. We saw the expressiveness in her face by the end of the song, but I personally missed something that helped to convey the message of the song because it is really meaningful and touching. It's about love, unity, and hope. So they just had to add some images as the music video with people together, holding hands, something to add a bit more of emotion here. I saw an interview where she said she loved crystals and brought many of them to Basel that were gifted from their friends and family to have them close, to feel them close. And yeah, having that in mind, she's surrounded by crystals. Maybe they could have shown us that, what the crystals represented, because otherwise it only seems something visually beautiful. Italy. They created a very nostalgic atmosphere, and even if there's not a lot happening on stage and I'm not a fan of the song, I recognize he had my attention during all the performance and it did not feel boring. Oh, Latvia. The magical Latvian fairies playing with the curtains. They even had a tail this time. And yeah, it felt like if they were spellbinding the audience with the play of lights, the music, voices and figures. Very special. And next is Lithuania. This has an intense apocalyptic feeling, really well portrayed on stage, with the grace, the focus on the eyes of the singer, his body expression. Even if it's depressive and there's no hope, it leaves no one indifferent, and that's his major success. Luxembourg. I was really impressed by this one. A big upgrade from the national selection. I really loved the beginning when we go inside to the doll's house and she's on the floor. We see it from a zenithal plane and the detail of French Girl on TV, for instance. A performance full of details, I must say. As you know, I like, and also it was very entertaining. Malta, very over the top and very kitsch. She served a show as she said would do, although we've lost these references to the Sound of Music and we've got a more spicy performance. I loved the extravaganza though, her outfit, the leopards bouncing, the lips, it was great. Montenegro, so the outfit was a bit no here. It even seemed to disturb her at some points with all this thing around. Then she had the band in the eyes at the beginning, which was great, and we had the balance of justice, but that aside, I'm a bit sad it didn't turn out as memorable as it could have been. The Netherlands. I love the beginning, with the close image of his face and the lights turning on with the music, and I love the ending with the little cloud in the mirror. The in-between just feels so average and forgettable, and I'm sorry, because I like the song and him. Luckily we got to see a bit of him dancing, but this is a song that brings joy to me, and I found all the staging too dark with the lights, with his outfit. We only had a moment with flowers toward the end, and it was very random. Why flowers? So I'll leave it in pretty good for the beginning and the ending. Okay, Norway, great medieval and Nordic epic vibes with a lot of energy and fire, a lighter and a fighter. Nothing memorable or remarkable, but pretty good. Poland. So, that part with the dragon, the supposed 3D effect that didn't work out, didn't make much sense to me, just with her hanging in there. Was she Mother of Dragons? She was Mother Earth, right? So, for me it would have been better just projecting images of nature or some things more related to Mother Earth. I also missed the man from the national final, and I think she moved more in there too. The main strength of this entry was her ability to move and dance how she does, how she's capable of, because the visuals always have been a bit chaotic here, and she moves less and the visuals didn't add up, so it was less impressive. Still love her. Portugal, nice soft colors with a pretty average performance. I didn't get any emotion from them. San Marino, I'm really happy they made it to the finals despite the performance. And let me explain, we had many Italian sculptures references in the background, so we had the identity, and luckily we had the guy with the accordion and the tambourine. But for me it would have worked better with the Italian flag colors and some people dancing, even if it was in the back screen, to have this feeling of a celebration that the song has. I missed that, so wrong concept for me. Serbia, Prince, he was very handsome in this red suit, and that part where he was dragged in the floor was also nice. But what I think that happened here is that it lost its romanticism. The moon, the flower, the images of his loved person. And instead of Mila, we had 4 male dancers, a lot of smoke, blue and red, and the performance that felt more angry or in pain than sweet. And it's supposed to be a love song, a beautiful song. So for me, they got the staging wrong. And it's a pity, because I do really like the song and the previous concept. Slovenia, emotional and well executed. A bit simple, but it works. I like they have kept this singing upside down and the appearance of his wife. Spain, It was very diva indeed. It felt elegant. It had some nice elements, some Spanish touch at the beginning with the dress, then the curtain. I liked some of her moves as the keys, but at the same time I missed some others that we saw in the national final. As the camera turning with her, the thorns and roses, the peineta she had behind, it made like more sense and felt more authentic to me than the stairs, the platform and the columns we had here. But she served attitude and power, so I'll say great, because I'm also aware that if I weren't used to the Benidorm Fest performance, I would have loved this version from the start. Sweden, just perfect, entertaining, funny, well presented. They really recreated the steps to go to sauna. From getting the woods in the forest to building the sauna to enjoying the sauna, the social event that it is, and the fun that they have in there. And their faces were everything. Switzerland. Okay, I understand what they were trying to do here, and it was a success for the juries, apparently, although it had the opposite effect on the audience. It was very intimate, focused on her, and that's what this kind of song needs, but maybe not all the time, a bit like France. It was like the same almost all the performance, just her and very dark, or with too much light out of a sudden. I liked the different camera angles towards the end where the rhythm changes, but I also feel it didn't turn out as beautiful as it could have been. I really thought they would use more this metaphor with the flowers. I expected more flowers in the visuals, and you could switch off easily with this performance. Ukraine. I appreciate the effort they did to improve the performance, and it was much better. That element with the girls and the light was beautiful, but at the end I had too much incandescence during all the performance, and I missed some birds in the visuals. And finally, the UK. I think they had it easy to do a funny theatrical performance as if we were in a musical, but somehow they didn't take advantage of the visuals. They had like a folding screen, I'm not sure what was that with the heart in the middle, and then we had a fallen lamp and their dresses that give like a Disney feel to it, but that was it. Nothing about the new tattoo, or breaking a heel, or losing the keys. We had that pool, that was something, but overall the visuals did not explain the chaos that preceded the what the hell just happened. And yeah, juries were captivated by her harmonies and expressiveness, and I don't deny that, but the visual part for me was just okay, could have been better. And that's it! Eurovision 2025 is over! But I never really disconnect from Eurovision, so I'll probably be posting from time to time, and I'll keep working in my coloring book. You have some coloring pages from this year's entries to download for free if you want to print and color. I'll leave you the links below once again. And in case you disconnect from this world, I hope to see you around again next year. Thank you so much for being here. If you have enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and see you in the next one. Bye bye, take care.